Very good morning, everyone. How are you all? Everyone fine? Now, last class we completed two accounting standard, 24 and 25. Any doubt in that accounting standard? No doubt. Means you have not done any question. Correct na? For AS25, whether I have covered MCQs? AS25, I think we have not discussed MCQs na? Let us discuss MCQs for AS25. AS25 mandate the following in relation to interim financial report. Which entity should publish interim financial report? How frequently it should be published? How should it publish after the end of interim period? None of the above. So can you say AS25 does not mandate na? There is no mandatory. So it will be what? None of the above. Correct. Then the standard define interim financial report as a financial report for an interim period that contain a set of financial statement. That contain a set of financial statement, complete, condensed financial statements similar to annual, either complete or condensed. Either complete or condensed. This is what, right? ठीक है ना, चलो ठीक है, ये सब मिस्टेक ई कर देते, बट देयर बी नो ई ऑप्शन. आई थिंक इट वाज कंप्लीट एंड कंडेंस, ऐसा कुछ था. ठीक है ना, चलो ठीक है, बट एज पर दिस इट शुड बी ई ना, so make it E. Then ABC Limited has reported 85,000 as pre-tax profit in the first quarter and expected loss of 25,000 in each subsequent quarter. It has a corporate tax rate of 20% on the first 20,000 earning and 40% on all additional earning. Means slab rate, calculate tax expense. We need to find out first what? Total. So can you give me 85,000 minus 25,000 into 3 na? Into 3 means it is 10,000. 10,000. So on first it is 20%. 20% means 2,000. Correct. There is no deferred tax. So 2,000 divided by what? What is the total accounting income? Correct now. So it is 20% only na. 2,000 divided by 10,000 only. Accounting income is what? 10,000. The rate of tax is 20%. 20%. So first 85,000 first quarter they have asked. So 85,000 into 20% how much? How much? 1 lakh. So 17,000. 7,000 na? So 17,000 is the answer. What you are doing, right? 3 guy. Then entity prepares quarterly interim financial report in accordance with AS25. The entity engaged in sale of mobile phone and normally 5% of customer claim on their warranty. The provision in the first quarter was calculated as 5% of sale till date, which was 10 million. However, in the second quarter, a fault was found and warranty claim was expected to be 10% for the whole of the year. Sales in the second quarter were 50 million. So first quarter how much we have done? 10 million into 5%, how much? It is what? 0.5 million. But next quarter it has been changed. Now the sale becomes 50 million into 10% will be how much? 1.5. But out of that how much already recognized? I think it is sales of only which quarter? So sales of only 50 million. So what will be the provision charge in the second quarter interim financial statement? So can I say we need to do revision based on the entire quarter year? So can I say it is 50 million plus 10 million should be how much? 25 million. 25 million into 10% how much? 2.5. How much already recognized? 0.5. So how much should be charged to second quarter? 2 million. So 2 million is the answer. 4 ka B is the answer. And this is a good question. Good question. Got this point? Simple. So this type of MCQs can be asked in exam. Chalega? Simple? Yes. Now let us come to a new chapter. Chapter is what? AS 15. Accounting Standard 15, Employee Benefit. Now when I say employee benefit means employee benefit expense, EB expense. In SOPL we have employee benefit expense. EB expense means what? Whatever you are paying to employee. Means simple words, salary, wages, etc. Correct now. So we are discussing the accounting treatment for that. Accounting treatment for employee benefit expense. So what is the scope of this chapter? This standard, this AS 15 is applicable to all employee benefit. All employee benefit except employee share based payment. Means it is not applicable to employee share based payment. Means any payment to employee done in the form of equity shares, that is ESOP. So ESOP is not accounted as per this chapter. So for ESOP actually there is no accounting standard. There is no accounting standard. ESOP accounting is normally done as per the guidance note issued by ICAI. So guidance note issued by ICAI, so we follow that accounting treatment for ESOP. So this chapter is not applicable for employee share based payment. Means any payment to employee done in the form of equity shares will not be covered in this chapter. Apart from that, all employee benefit will be covered in this chapter. This point is important for what? MCQ. Correct. So it is applicable to all employee benefit. So what is the meaning of employee benefit? So employee benefit means all the form of consideration payable by the entity to its employee for the services rendered by the employee. So whatever payment made by entity to employee for the services received, that will be employee benefit, but except employee share based payment. Correct? Understood? So this amount can be payable either in the form of cash or in the form of kind. I think in income tax you have done income under the head salary. Salary not done. Very good. Excellent. Correct. But when you do salary, there is one term perquisite. Perquisite means whatever is paid in the form of kind. So can I say that will be also part of salary. That will be also part of salary. For example, if suppose we are not giving cash, but we are giving some form of what? Kind way. For example, we have given some house for living to the employee. So that is also part of what? Salary only. That is also part of salary. So entity is required to recognize all employee benefit arising from. Entity is required to recognize all types of employee benefit arising from formal practice. Formal practice means which arises due to contract. Understood? Contract with employee. Informal practice means sometimes we pay without any contract. For example, any award given to what? Employee for their better performance. So suppose any employee is performing better, or any employee has completed 10 year or 15 year or 20 year of what job. So we will what? Will give respect to that person, will give some honor to that employee by giving some award or prize, etc. Correct? Either in cash or in kind. That is known as informal practice. So that will be also recognized as an expense in this chapter only, as per this chapter. And as per legislative requirement means due to legal obligation. Legal obligation, you might be knowing about PF, Provident Fund. You know about Provident Fund? So sometimes employer need to contribute to a fund that is known as Provident Fund. Or I hope you might have done, you know about gratuity. You have some act in companies law, na? Gratuity that has been deleted. Chalo, very good. But there are some payment made to employee due to some legal requirement. For example, gratuity or PF or ESI, etc. Whatever. that is will be also covered in this chapter. So this will consider PF, ESI, etc. Correct? Got this point? Yes, sir. So I hope these two you have understood. Now employee, here employee means all types of employee. It can be unskilled employee labor, it can be semi-skilled employee, correct? It may be skilled employee chartered accountant. Chartered accountant are skilled, na? Correct? So unskilled employee, semi-skilled employee, skilled employee. It will also include full-time employee, part-time employee. Directors are also employees. So whole-time directors or any other managerial person. Any other managerial person, which in simple word, all person who are in what employee relationship will be covered. So unskilled, semi-skilled, skilled, part-time, full-time, director, manager. Correct? They all are employee will be covered in this chapter. Correct? However, it will not include any contract labor or any trainee. Contract labor means what? I hope you might have seen that sometime there we appoint some agency to provide some security guard. So whatever security guards are providing services will do payment to agency, will not do payment to what? Security guard. So it means they are contract labor. So they are not under our payroll. We pay to what? Agency. Agency will pay to them. Are you getting? So they are known as contract labor. So sometimes what happens in any company, suppose we want immediate employee, so we'll ask the agency to send some employee for the time being. So they are not under our payroll. We'll pay to whom? Agency only. So they are not covered in this chapter. They are not covered in this chapter. For example, training. Training what? I mean right now once you will complete what? Your CA inter. So you will also join as a trainee to a CA firm. So you will be trainee, not employee. You will be trainee. So you are not covered in this chapter. Once you are in, you are acting like an article. You are acting like a articles. Correct? Yes, sir. So trainee will be not covered in this chapter. So whatever payment done to trainee, that is not EB expense. That is not employee benefit expense. Chalega? Correct. Employee benefit will include any benefit provided to spouse. Spouse means only wife. Means for you wife, but for her to what? Husband na. It may be what? Wife or husband. So any benefit provided to spouse or their children or any of their dependents. So if suppose some payment or some benefit has been provided to their wife or husband or children or their dependent, that will be also covered in this chapter. That will be also employee benefit. Understood? Correct. So this is the scope of this chapter. Scope you have understood? This entire may be important for MCQ type question. Correct. Now this chapter we need to understand the accounting treatment of employee benefit. Now for the purpose of accounting treatment, entire employee benefit has been divided into four parts. One is known as short-term employee benefit, then long-term employee benefit, then post-employment benefit, then termination benefit. Correct? Yes, sir. So what they want to say, just try to understand. Suppose this is the year, current year. Means in this year the employee has provided services. Correct? Are you able to understand what I am saying? Correct. Now, so can you say some payment will be done, some amount will be paid yahin par in this year only. Some amount might be payable within 12 months from reporting date, and some amount may be payable after what? Reporting date, after 12 months from reporting date. And let us assume this is retirement date. This is retirement date. Correct. So some amount may be payable after retirement. After retirement. For which year? For current year service. For current year service. Means service has been provided in which year? Current year. So for this service, some amount is, it might happen, some amount is already paid in current year, some amount might be payable within 12 months from reporting date, some amount might be payable after 12 months from reporting date, some amount might be payable after retirement. For example, gratuity, etc. Gratuity is paid after retirement, pension, gratuity, etc. I hope you have understood these all points. Correct. So what in there, sorry, what AS15 says, what AS15 says, this will be considered as short-term employee benefit. Short-term employment benefit. This will be considered as what? Long-term employment benefit. And this will be considered as what? Post-employment benefit. Understood? Have you understood this point? Have you understood this point? Correct. Any doubt? No doubt. The termination benefit means what? Just first draw this. Done? Now, this you have understood: short-term employment benefit, long-term employment benefit, post-employment benefit. Means even though I have not given definition, can you say one picture has been created in your mind? What will be short-term, what will be long-term, what will be post-employment benefit? Correct? Yes, sir. The termination benefit happens when the employee is terminated. Terminated means not retired. Sometimes employee what is terminated before retirement date means they are not retired. Okay, there is some retirement age, but before retirement quite possible they have terminated their job. Means either employee has opted some termination or entity has asked them to terminate. That is known as termination. So whenever that arises, termination arises, it is quite possible entity need to pay some compensation to them. For example, we have done restructuring, some division was closed, so employee need to be compensated for that closure of division. So that is known as termination benefit. That is known as termination benefit. So that will happen at some point of time. That will happen at some point of time whenever employee is terminated. Whenever employee is terminated. Understood? Means termination benefit is not due to services. That is due to what? Termination. So termination benefit is payable not due to services, that is payable due to termination. Understood? But can I say short-term employment benefit, post-employment benefit or long-term employment benefit is payable due to some services. Understood? Now my question to you all, if you have understood this much, now apply your common sense, means accounting concept. If it is short-term employment benefit, it will be recognized in which year as an expense? In the current year, means this will be recognized in this year. But the long-term employment benefit, no, I am saying as an expense. I am not saying about liability. Liability will come in the balance sheet. If it is not paid, if it is payable, it will come in the balance sheet. Correct? That is understood. My question to you all, it will come as an expense in which PL? PL of current year or PL of the year in which it is paid? PL of the year in which it is paid. Means in which year? No, doubt हो रहा है, थोड़ा सा confusion हो रहा है. Means this is the, first 1 second I will say the example. I think you are confused with the example. I said service was rendered in which year? This is current year and it was rendered in current, means right now we are in current year. Right now we are in current year, and for this service some amount might be payable within 12 months, some amount may be payable after 12 months from reporting date, some amount might be payable after retirement. Whatever may be the situation, can I say as per matching concept, all the expense need to be recognized when the benefit has received. The benefit has been received in which year? Current year. Current year na. So not in the year in which it is paid, in the year in which the services are rendered, in the year in which services are rendered. This will be also recognized in this year, this will be also recognized in this year. Understood? Correct? Understood. Now what AS 15 says that if there is any short term employment benefit, it will be recognized as an expense at an undiscounted amount, at an undiscounted amount. Now do you know about undiscounted and discounted amount? Undiscounted means will not calculate any present value. Whatever amount is payable, that amount become what? The amount of expense. But long term employment benefit and short term employment benefit, this will be recognized at what? At discounted amount. At discounted amount. Understood? Have you understood this point? Correct. Means can I say for short term employment benefit, no much discussion required. It will be recognized at what? Undiscounted amount. I mean discussion is supposed to be done only for what? Long term employment benefit or what? Post employment benefit. Understood? Have you understood? Chalega? Yes sir. This much you understood? Correct. Means can I say chalo, balance discussion we'll do after some time, but have you understood the topic whatever we are discussing? Are you able to follow me? Correct. This AS also we are doing for the first time in CA Inter. This AS is first time it is introduced in CA Inter syllabus. Correct? Correct? Okay. Understood. This means can I say this short term employment benefit, long term employment benefit and post employment benefit arises due to what? Due to past services. Due to past services, and this termination benefit arises due to termination. Got this point? Yes sir. So let us first start short term employment benefit. So what is the meaning of short term employment benefit? Short term employment benefit other than termination benefit. Means they are saying termination benefit is payable on the date of termination only, now, but it is not short term. It is not short term. So short term employment benefit are payable within 12 months after the end of reporting period in which services are rendered. Simple. No discussion required. It will include wages and salary. You know wages, we know salary from bachpan. You know only this wages account, salaries account. Wages account, salary account. Only for you understanding थोड़ा सा extra ज्ञान. बताओ whatever you have done in your बचपन, बताओ wages will go to which account? Trading account, PL account. And salaries, this is total ratta vacation. Correct? देखो what happened in trading account, direct expense will come. Now wages means what? The definition is not given anywhere. Wages means what? Sometimes we call wages, sometimes we call salary. But normally what about wages for unskilled labor? Normally we use wages for what? Unskilled. Unskilled na. And salary we say for what? Either semi-skilled or skilled. Correct na? Skilled or semi-skilled, whatever. Normally we say in this way. For example, you are a chartered accountant. So whatever amount is payable once you join some services, so we'll call it what? Wages? अच्छा नहीं लगता है. We'll call it salary. ठीक है ना? Understood? Correct ना? If suppose there is one person who is not chartered accountant but accountant, to them also will not call wages. Now we'll call it what? Salary. Means for unskilled employee we call it what? Wages. Now there cannot be any office an admin expense related to wages? Yes, they can be peon in office. Peon, so unskilled only na. So we'll pay what? Wages only. Are you able to understand? So there is no definition given for wages and salaries. But can I say wages can be what? Direct as well as indirect. Direct means what? Which is related to production. So salary may be also related to production. There may be somewhat. There may be some manager who is appointed in factory. So their salary will be allocated to what? Factory expense. I hope now in costing you might have done this. You might have done now allocation. Which chapter is going in costing right now? Material. चलो अभी I think labor not started ना. हाँ चलो ठीक है. And I think whenever you will go to some other chapter, you will, I think cost sheet has been done. So in cost sheet I think bifurcation has been given. I think, I don't know whether it has been done or not because I don't teach what? Costing. But I think your teacher might have said that whatever has been related to production, that will be what direct expense as per trading account. Correct? Understood is fine. So we are not going to do that, but this is only for extra gyan. So in some interview, suppose in one of the interview to my student, they have asked this question: what is the difference between wages and salary? They say wages will go to trading account and salary will go to PL account. They will say bye bye. They will not ask any question. Means it is rectification na. So once you do article sheet, then you will get practical knowledge. What actually we do in class, so we are learning from exam point of view. Whatever is need to be done in exam, that only we are teaching na. But what should be actually done, that you learn where? In your article sheet. That is more important. So practical knowledge is more important to perform. Correct? But how? To understand practical knowledge, you should have what? This knowledge also. Classroom knowledge is also required. Understood? Yes, sir. Now profit sharing bonus, any bonus which is based on profit but payable within 12 months. Correct? Any short term compensated absences. This is a new point in your life. Short term compensated absences. Short term compensated absence. I hope you have not understood. Then other short term employment benefit means any other short term employment benefit. Correct? Means simple word, recognize as an expense. Means short-term employment benefit will be recognized as an expense when employee has rendered services at which amount? At undiscounted amount. At undiscounted amount. This is the principle for recognition and measurement. So we need to recognize as an expense in the year in which employee has rendered services at an undiscounted amount. Means simply speaking, what would be journal entry? Benefit received and amount paid. So journal entry EB expense account debit bank. EB expense account debit bank. Benefit received amount not paid. EB expense account debit to payable. बचपन में क्या salary account debit to outstanding salary. Correct ना? And if suppose any amount which is prepaid but benefit not received, then it is an asset. Then it is not an expense. So if you have received some amount as a prepayment but the benefit is not yet received, you have paid some amount as a prepayment but benefit has not been received from employee. So what journal entry? Prepaid EB to what? Cash or bank. Understood? Correct. Can I say this short-term employment benefit will be recognized as an expense? Normally it is recognized as an expense unless it is covered in the cost price of any asset as per any other accounting standard. For example, if it is AS2, so employee benefit expense can be included in the cost price of inventory. Direct labor, indirect labor, we have done now. Production overhead, so it can be included in the cost price inventory if it is covered as per AS2. In AS10, it can be included in the cost price of PP. Any employee benefit expense which are directly engaged in the acquisition or construction of what? Any property, plant and equipment. So what they are saying, short-term employee benefit will be recognized as an expense unless included in the cost price of asset due to requirement of other AS. Other AS. Make it AS. Other AS. Means what? AS2, AS10, AS26, etc. Understood? Correct. So in this short-term employee benefit, much discussion is not required. Correct. And normally they will not ask question from the short-term employment benefit. If they will ask, you can write down it will be an expense, and if not paid is liability at an undiscounted amount. But there is one topic: short-term compensated absences. Short-term compensated absences. This might be important from examination point of view, but they have not given any good question of this in your study material. Okay. But it may be important for MCQs. It may be important for MCQs. First, I need to explain you what is the meaning of short-term compensated absences. Correct. Listen carefully. Listen carefully, huh? Whatever I am saying. Listen and write also. Short-term means we are actually discussing about paid leave. Paid leave. I hope you might be knowing about that company granted some leave for which amount will be paid. Means you don't come, will pay you. Correct? Such a good company, na? Normally what happens, suppose this is what 1 year and this is what next year. Correct? Understood? So how many days are there? Let us assume 360 days. Okay? 360 days are there. Now out of that, okay, 60 will be the Sunday only. Sunday plus second Saturday. 54 weeks. So 54 Sunday plus 6 extra. Correct. So this is the holiday, na? Correct. And can I say, from my point of view, in India, 30 will be what? Festival and national holiday. This will be also holiday. Correct. Means you are not coming. Yes or no? And let us assume 30 days has been granted as leave. It means actually you are working for how many days? 240 days. It means, can I say in this way? Ki 3 months was holiday only. 3 months. And 1 month was granted as what? But it means you are working only for how many months? 8 months. You are working for 8 months. I hope you are understanding whatever I am saying. Now, whenever agreement is done, so salary, let us assume salary was decided. It was decided. Let us assume 15 lakh per annum. 15 lakh per annum. So divide by 12, how much per month? 1 lakh. So can I say, we can say 1,25,000 per month. Per month. Understood? But actually if we see, effectively they are working only for 8 months. This, can I say in this way, this thing, company can say in this way, na? Ki 15 lakh divided by 8, how much? 1,87,500. This, can I say in this way, work for 1 month entire and take a salary of 1,87,500 effectively. Can we say in this way? Means if you are working for 30 days, your salary is how much? 1,87,500. I can also calculate salary per day also, but monthly you are understanding, na? So this become effective salary per month. Means work for how many months? 8 months. Take a salary of 15 lakh. I can say this way, work for 8 months and take a salary of what? 15 lakh. If you are working for 1 month, your salary is what? 1,87,500. Understood? Now, Normally what happened, this was a leave granted. Leave granted. But normally what happened, if you see actually what is the condition, whenever the employee is at lower grade means at the bottom of the company, top means what, higher grade. So there is some hierarchy. Higher means they are manager, they are MD, etc. But who will take more holidays? Not nalayak. MD will take more holidays. They will never take holidays. Even though they want, they can't. Their responsibility are more. Can I take holiday? Means I don't know. Means sometime I need to think when I have taken holiday. Normally when there is no batch, then only we can take holiday. After COVID-19, our life become बहुत अच्छा. Believe me, before COVID-19, तो my wife used to say I will take divorce. Kidding, correct? But believe me, we have no time now. Batch to batch, batch to batch, batch to batch. One batch completed, two batch will start. Because only face to face. Now there was no recorded options. Now, so believe me, after COVID-19, now means during lockdown, I was very happy because our classes were going on. Means if I am taking 8 batches of final at that point of time, final because more batches I have already said, inter or 2 batches we used to take previous years because 2 attempts. But final, if I am taking 8 batches, now we started only 2 batches, 2 recordings. Number of students also increased because we can penetrate entire India now. Local market become what? India market. So we become happy. Sometimes something happened for better only na. So for me it was a better situation. It's like what I always think, when COVID-19 happened at that point of time we were very sad. But just right, when many teachers have taken it as what? Disadvantage. Many teachers have taken it as an advantage. Means whatever happened to your life, how you are reacting to that situation, that will help you to become successful. God is not always with you. God is always what? Without you. But they will give you some opportunity. How you are taking that opportunity, that you need to understand. If you think positive, you will make money in that also. If you think negative, then whatever money you have, that will be also lost. Correct? So that you need to understand. Something is, whatever is happening for betterment. Whatever is happening for betterment, and stop giving excuses. This is my life lesson, which I have learned after so many days. Means not early. Means initially I was also like you know, student will remain student. Once I become CA, that time also there was no one to guide me. Initial 3 to 4 years, I was like, not able to understand what to do. If something bad is happening, I used to say that you are wrong. But I need to understand what is limitation under me. That I need to improve. Whenever you are getting less marks, think why you have got less marks. Try to improve that. Don't think that teachers are teaching bad. If you are not able to understand, don't think that the teacher is not able to explain. Why you are not able to understand? That is the point. Are you getting what I am saying? So if suppose you have not understood one chapter, don't blame me. If you blame me, you'll never succeed. Blame kar lo. It is your loss only na. It is your loss. In that way, you think, sir, how can I understand? Come to me. I will again explain. I will third time explain. I will fourth time explain. You will understand. Okay? Now, leave granted. So what I am saying, number of leave granted will be whatever. Suppose lower grade. So they will avail maximum of leave. But when you come to the higher grade, so can you say they will not be able to what? Avail that leave. Understood? Means suppose if 30 days granted, let us assume for simplicity, unavailed is 30 days. Let us assume unavailed is also 30 days. Means they have not availed it. It means now they are working for how many months? 9 months. They are working for how many months? 9 months. I hope you have understood. This is only for simplicity. I have taken 30 days granted and they have not availed 30 days. It might happen for higher grade employee. They will not take leave only because that is their company only. Directors will take, why they will take leave? Understood? Are we able to understand? Now there are two type of leave. One is known as leave which will be carried forward to the next year. Means as per management policy, what will happen? In this year, so same position, 3-month holiday, 1 month leave granted, and 8 months they need to work. So this leave will be granted to which year? Next year. Means in this year, in the current year, they are working for 8 months plus 1 month extra. In the next year, let us assume for simplicity, they will take this 1 month to pakka, and they will take the leave which has been carried forward from previous year. It means in this year they are working for 8 months minus what? 1 month means 7 months. I hope you are understanding. This is only for simplicity I have taken this. Actual scenario may be different. Have you understood the case study? Case study you have understood? It means the first year they are working for how many months? 9 months. In the next year they are working for how many months? 7 months. My question to you all, apply your common sense. Common sense means accounting common sense. Huh? Accounting common sense. Apply your accounting common sense. How much expense will be recognized in first year? How much expense will be recognized in second year? And second year? No, don't think. Think it. For how many months salaries will be recognized in first year? 9 months. You are saying 9 months, na? Ki 8 months. 9 months. So 9 months salary will be 9 months multiplied by what? What was the effective salary per month into 1,87,500, na? That will be equal to how much? It will be 16 lakh. So it will be 9 months multiplied by 1,87,500, which is coming how much? 16,87,500. And in this month we recognize expense for how many months? 7 months. So 7 months into what? 1,87,500 is equal to how much? 13 lakh 12,500. Means what will be journal entry यहाँ पर? It will be journal entry EB expense how much? 16,87,500. But how much you will pay? As per the contract you will pay. Means you will create provision for what amount? So your provision will be how much? 1,87,500. 1 month salary will be provision. Understood? Have you understood this point? Right. What will be the journal entry for next year? But the EB expense how much? EB expense 13,12,500. But how much you will pay? 15 lakh. So balance what you will do? You reverse the provision whatever you have created in previous year. How much? 1,87,500. Can you say proper accounting? Super accounting? And I hope you are understanding the importance of accounting. Are you getting what I am saying? Just try to understand. This is the last accounting standard we are doing. Last 3-4 accounting standard left. Correct now. So last. So we are into the end of what? CA Inter. And CA final में what we will do? Just try to understand. So CA final में more advanced accounting, more interesting accounting. Have you understood this point? Yes, sir. I hope you have understood. Correct? You have understood. So this is known as actually unvested leave. Unvested leave means what? Leave against leave. Leave against leave. Means for leave will be granted. Understood? Means this leave will be carried forward only for 1 year. If in the next year you have not availed it, it will be cancelled forever. If it can be carried forward for more than 1 year, then it becomes long term. Then it is not short term. Right now we are discussing short term compensated absences. Got this point? Have you understood this point? This so you have understood? Correct. This much you understood? Correct. Now just try to understand. Abhi I said for this year unavailed leave was how much? 30 days. Now apply your common sense. But based on the past experience, it has been seen that apply your common sense. I will not say anything. Based on the past experience, it was observed that this employee will avail only 15 days out of 30 days in next year. Means what was our probability? Probability of availment. We are now expecting that he will take only 50 days leave based on what? Past experience. In the last we said out of 30 days he will take 30 days only. But can I say it is quite possible out of 30 days he will be able to take only 15 days leave in the next year, and then it will be the balance leave will be automatically cancelled. Again it cannot be carried forward. So in this case, batao, will take provision, will create provision for how many days? 30 days ki 15 days? 15 days. 15 days na? Correct. It means in this case our provision will be for 15 days. 15 days. Understood this point? Correct. Understood. Means if in exam they said ki unavailed leave, if they say in this way ki unavailed leave, because this type of questions can come, is 10 days, and out of these 2 can be availed in the next year. Batao, will create provision for 10 days or 2 days? 2 days. Will create provision for 2 days, not 10 days. Understood? If question is silent about probability of availment, then we'll assume entire days. That is based on assumption if question is silent. Got this point? This is known as unvested leave. Now, this one concept of vested leave. Vested leave means what? Leave means what? Cash against what? Against leave. Means in that case, leave will not be granted in the next year. Will pay you cash if you are working extra. Are you able to understand? So instead of granting leave, will what? Pay you cash against any unavailed leave. Understood? It means, can I say, then the amount is payable. If you 30 days you have not taken, out of 30 days, if you have not taken any leave, so for 30 days salary will be payable or not? So what journal entry will do? EB expense account debit to payable. EB expense account debit to payable. Means entire amount will be paid in the next year. Entire amount will be paid. Correct? So it will be a liability and entire amount will be paid. If you have understood this much, now we can discuss. So what they want to say? Let us understand. Accounting treatment for short-term compensated absences. Now answer whatever I am asking. If availed during the year, what journal entry? No, no, no. If the leave granted is availed, no entry, no treatment. Listen what I am saying. If the leave grant is availed, then thank you very much. Bye bye. You are also happy. I am also happy. Correct na? Then no journal entry. This all points can be asked in MCQ. Correct? Accounting treatment. Because no question has been given means they can create what? MCQs. If not able during the year, not able. Now not able there are two types. One is non-accumulating, one is accumulating. Non-accumulating means which will not be carried forward, means it will lapse. If you have not availed, it will be withdrawn. Correct. So non-accumulating which cannot be carried forward, your entry? No entry. If you have not availed, your mistake, bye bye, take care. Simple na. But availed during the year can be accumulating also. Accumulating means which can be carried forward. Now these are of how many types? Two types. One is known as unvested. Unvested means what? Leave against leave. Vested means what? Cash against leave. So for vested, full amount of benefit is provided for the cost of leave or not. Means how to calculate an amount of liability? It is what? Amount, number of unavailed leave multiplied by salary per working day. Salary per working day. Salary per working day. Understood? This will be given. If suppose they ask, they will give you number of unavailed leave, salary per working day. So we could have also calculated salary per working day. Total salary divided by number of working days. Number of working days were 240 in our question. In our example 240 na. So divide by 240 kar do. Means 8 months. Correct. Now in this case unvested, will you create provision for full amount? No. It will be based on probability. Therefore we get proportionate amount of provision should be created for expected cost of leave. Proportionate means what? Based on probability of leave. So what is the formula? Number of unavailed. This is unavailed, huh? Spelling mistake. Number of unavailed leave multiplied by probability of availment multiplied by salary per working day. Understood this point? Suppose 30 days and 50% was probability. So we'll do into 50%. Then multiply by what? Salary per working day. Or if suppose they have given out of 30, 15 days can be able to, will directly do 15 days. Understood? Have you understood? Simple. Have you understood? No question. What can I do? Can I do anything? I can't do anything. I can create many questions, but I don't want to create because I know they will not create. चलेगा ना? Let us read question number 2. They have given this type of question. An entity has 100 employees. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Who are each entitled to 5 working day leave for each year. So 5 working day. Okay, sir. Unused leave may be carried forward for 1 calendar year. Yes, sir, we know. The leave is taken first out of current year entitlement and then out of any balance brought forward from previous year, means on LIFO basis. Correct. So first leave will be adjusted with current year entitlement, balance will be adjusted with previous year which has been brought forward from that year. Correct. Got it. Then entity expect based on the past experience, past experience which is expected to continue, that 92 employee will take not more than 5 days of leave in 2005. Means 92 employee will take not more than 5 days of leave in 2005, means next year. And the remaining 8 employee will take an average of 6.5 days, 6.5 days in the next year. Means they have given key out of the unavailable leave which can be adjusted in the next year. Batao, we should create provision your liability for how many days? Huh? Hmm. It means, can I say, for 92 employee will take for how many days? 5 days ना. देखो 5 days बोला है ना, it is given. Just try to understand, everyone. What they have given? The listen it first. अच्छा sorry, my mistake. Okay, चलो. 1 second. The entity expect based on the past experience, which is expected to continue, that 92 employee will take not more than 5 days of leave in 2005. So their expectation is that in the year 2005, how many leave they will take? 5 days. So can I say it will be adjusted with what? It will be adjusted with what? Current year entitlement, correct? And that remaining 8 employees will take an average of 6.5 days. So 6.5 days means what? First it will be adjusted with what? Current year entitlement means 5 days. Remaining is how much? 1.5. That will be adjusted with current means this year entitlement. So it means we should make a provision only for what? 1.5 days. Means just write down in this way. You'll be able to understand. So we are doing question number 2. So it is 92 employee, then 8 employees. Correct. Expected leave availed in 2005. How much? 5 years, 6.5 days. Less. It will be adjusted with 2005 entitlement first. Correct na? This is 5 days and 5 days. So how much balance? Nil, nil, nil and 1.5 days. Correct? Therefore, liability to be recognized in which year? In 2004. This is nil. This for how many employees? 8 into 1.5 days. How much? This 12 days. 12 days salary na. 12 days salary will be recognized. Understood? So this type of question they have given, which may be also asked in the form of what? MCQs. Correct? This was based on LIFO. Suppose the same question they have given on FIFO basis. FIFO means what? First from brought forward and then from current year. It is also quite possible, then your answer will change. But the FIFO. FIFO. If I am saying FIFO, same question. 92 employee, 8 employee. Expected leave is how much? 5. 6.5. So first adjusted with brought forward leave of 2004. 5 and 5 means your expected liability will be what? Liability will be what? Liability to be recognized will be into 92 into 5, and this will be 8 into 5. Understood? Correct? Because this was easy, therefore they will not ask FIFO. This was for us interesting. That can be on FIFO basis also. Topic you have understood? If you have understood the topic, let us go to some other point. Now coming to post-employment benefit now. Now this is only important from exam point of view. If they ask practical question, so they will ask question from this topic only. Important. Now you can see I am doing post-employment benefit before what? Long-term employment benefit. Why? Because if you have understood post-employment benefit, you will automatically understand what? Long-term employment benefit. Chalega? Understood? So first let us understand post-employment benefit. So meaning to I hope you have understood employee benefit other than termination benefit or short-term employment benefit that are payable after completion of employment, means after retirement, which are payable after retirement. Now from accounting treatment point of view, what AS 15 says, the post-employment benefit are of two types. One is known as DCP. DCP means what? Defined contribution plan. DCP. Defined contribution plan. And one is known as defined benefit plan. DBP. Defined contribution plan, defined benefit plan. Because it is difficult to explain at CA inter level. Okay, now. Because if you have no articleship knowledge, so it will be difficult for me to explain you, but I will try my level best to explain you. First let us under define contribution plan. Define contribution plan. So first I am doing define contribution plan. In this actually what happened, let's see. In defined contribution plan, there will be one entity, and there will be employee of the entity, yes or no? These are employee. Now what happened, as per some act, Provident Fund Act or etc. Means examples are what? For these examples are PF, ESI, etc. Correct? Let us say PF, Provident Fund, because you know. So as per Provident Fund Act or whatever act, okay, every year some amount will be deducted from the amount of salary of employee. So some amount will be deducted. Who will deduct it? Entity only. This is known as employee contribution. This is known as what? Employee contribution. Are you getting what I am saying? Suppose their salary is 10,000, basic pay. You know, you don't know about income tax right now. No, I will not use that term, because if I use basic pay, these two will be confused. So suppose the salary is what, 10,000. Correct? And as per this act, 15% of salary need to be deducted. So 15% how much? 1500. So it means how much will be paid to salary? 8500. Correct? 8500. So what entity will do with this 1500? They will contribute to what? They will contribute to some plan. So they will contribute to some other entity. So this is what? A separate entity. This is a separate entity. Are you getting what I am saying? Who will manage this amount contributed? Will manage this on behalf of employee? Are you able to understand? Now this separate entity can be either state plan. State plan means it is nothing but government body. It can be multiple employer plan. Multiple employer plan what? Sometimes what happens? The group company with parent and subsidiaries together will make a separate entity for the benefit of their employee as approved by the government. So they will not deposit under state plan, they will only create one separate entity for the benefit of their employee. That is known as multiple employer plan. Multiple employer plan. Or it can be insured benefit plan also. It can be insured benefit plan. So nowadays insurance company also provide this type of services. Insurance company also provide this type of services. You can contribute to insurance company, they will take care of everything. Are you able to understand? Thora? Correct? This much you understood? Means what journal entry entity will do for this in the books of entity? Bata. Salary account debit how much? 10,000. To bank how much? To bank how much? Yes, bank to full now because they have deposited where? So can I say bank is what? You can say in this way ki initially paid to employee how much? And amount to be deposited how much? Once deposited it will be also bank only na? Correct? Means journal entry salary account debit to bank only. Some amount is paid directly to whom? Employee. Some amount deposited where? In separate entity for the benefit of what? Employee only. So journal entry salary account debit to bank. So this is the short-term employment benefit. So we are not discussing in this topic about this. We are not discussing about this. We are not discussing about employee contribution. We are not discussing about employee contribution. We are discussing about employer contribution. So what that act says, which act? Provident Fund Act. If whatever has been contributed by employee, that much amount employer should also contribute for the benefit of employee. Means apart from what? This salary, apart from 10,000, over and above 10,000, it means this become employer contribution. It become employer contribution na? So in this topic we are discussing about employee contribution or employer contribution? We are discussing about employer contribution. Are you getting? Employer. Correct. And same amount will be deposited. 1500 every month, every year it will be deposited. Normally it is deposited monthly basis. Every month. Correct. Means can I say this separate entity is receiving employee contribution and employer contribution? Understood? Now they have received all the amounts. What they will do? Very good. They will do planning for the benefit of employee. They will do planning for the retirement benefit of employee. They will do planning for retirement benefit of employee. Means this will be what? A entity who will invest this in some other securities which are risk free. Which are risk free means government securities etc. Not in equities here. Correct. So they will do investment, and from this investment they will generate what? Some return. They will generate some return. Correct. Understood. Now, can I say on retirement, suppose there is only one employee, and this employee retired. So on retirement, this separate entity will pay what? Can I say he will pay employee contribution plus what? Employer contribution plus what? Some return, whatever has been generated to whom? To employee or entity? To employee directly or entity? This entity, this separate entity will pay directly to employee, not to entity, huh? Not to entity. Have you understood? Have you understood? Oh my god. The same discussion I do in CA final. ऐसा लग रहा है I'm in CA final class. But believe me, if I will explain only this now, you will not be able to understand without this. मजा नहीं आएगा. Means I can also say this is this, do this, but you will forget. Once you have understood this now, the picture is created, and once you have understood conceptually, you will be able to retain that for a longer period of time. Now my question to you all, if you have understood this much, whatever investment has been done by this SAPA entity, there is some risk, even though it is risk free, but there may be some risk na. The value may decline. Government securities we say risk free, but it can be also what? There may be some nominal risk, or can I say the return can be lower than expected. Interest income may be lower than expected. Quite possible. That is also one type of risk. For example, you are expecting 90 marks in what? Account, but you got 75, so lower than expected. You will be not happy na, lower than expected. So that is also one risk. This risk is borne by this entity or employee? My entity, this entity is paying to whom? Employee. So what is their risk? Nothing. Means all the risk will be borne by whom? Employee only na. Means there is entity's obligation is only to contribute this amount and then sleep silently. There is obligation to only contribute na. They will contribute and leave. Means if there is some deficiency in this fund, suppose entity is not able to pay to the employee, this separate entity become bankrupt. Suppose, whose risk? Employee risk na. If this separate entity, this state plan, multiple employer plan, or whatever insurance company become bankrupt, so whose risk? Entity or employee? It is what employer risk, and therefore whatever amount is contributed by this will be considered as an expense, not an asset. This will be expense in the year in which they are liable to contribute. This is the only topic. Only the answer is this much. Means whatever amount is contributed by employer, we are discussing about employer contribution because that is payable after retirement to employee. Correct? Because that is become post employment benefit, because that is payable to employee after retirement through this SAPA entity. So whenever employer is liable to contribute in that year, it will become an expense, because entire risk fall onto whom? Employee. Understood? Have you understood this point? Correct. Now this risk are of two types. One is known as investment risk, One is known as actuarial risk. One is known as investment risk. One is known as actuarial risk. So both investment risk and actuarial risk fall onto whom? Employee. This is all I am doing for what? MCQs. Correct. Both investment risk and actuarial risk of this plan belong to whom? Employee. Employer not. Employee. Correct. So what is the investment risk? What is actual risk? Already I have said, but I have not informed you. Whenever there is a risk of declining the value of investment, this is what? Investment risk. And whenever there is a risk of getting less than expected return, means your actual return is less than expected return, that is known as actuarial risk. Understood? So both risk will fall onto whom? Employee. Understood? I hope you have understood. Now we can read about DCP. DCP completed. DCP means what? Defined Contribution Plan. DCP. Let us read, you will understand. Defined Contribution Plan is a plan under which entity pay a fixed contribution to a separate entity, that is known as plan asset. This is known as plan asset. We call it what? We call it plan asset. Understood? Correct. So that contribution is to whom? Separate entity, that is known as plan asset, and will have no obligation to further contribute if plan asset does not have sufficient fund to pay employee. Means they have no other further obligation to pay. Under defined contribution plan, obligation of employer is limited to the fixed contribution, and the investment risk and actuarial risk will fall onto employee. Employer contribution to defined contribution plan. Employer contribution to defined contribution plan is recognized as an expense liability when employer is liable to contribute. If not paid, it will be liability. Correct. This is if the contribution is payable after 12 months from reporting date, then such amount should be discounted. Means if that amount is payable within 12 months, then an undiscounted amount. If it is payable after 12 months, then a discounted amount. Normally such amount is payable within 12 months. Normally such amount is payable within 12 months. Therefore in exam they will not ask discounted wala point, they will ask that undiscounted amount only. But suppose that amount is payable after 5 years by way of contribution from employer, then we'll apply discounting technique. Understood? Done. Correct. So post employment benefit, how many types are there? DCP and DPP. What is DPP? Defined benefit plan. This is more important. DPP, defined benefit plan. Understood? Correct. Defined benefit plan. Now let us take one example of defined benefit plan. Here actually what happened? Defined benefit plan. Means in this case what happened? The benefit is defined, but amount is not known. For example, suppose entity has announced one gratuity plan. Gratuity plan. What is that plan? Let us understand. Any employee who has completed 5 year of services will be entitled to gratuity on his retirement at an amount equal to 20% of last drawn monthly salary for each completed year of services. Understood this point? This is a plan announced by the entity. Any employee who has completed 5 years of services, then let us understand. Suppose this is the first day one employee has been appointed. Correct? The first year Y0, Y1. The current year. So we are right now we need to calculate gratuity expense for this year. On what basis? On this benefit basis. Now what they are saying, if he has completed 5 years of services, so that too we don't know right now. This is 5 years. That we don't know right now whether he will or he will not complete. Correct. Then if suppose मान लेते हैं he will complete, let us assume, but that we don't know in current year na. He may or he may not complete 5 years of services. Let us assume he will complete. Then he will be entitled to gratuity on which date? On retirement date. So we don't know when he will retire. First, so we don't know whether he will complete 5 years of service. If he will complete, so we don't know what is the retirement date. Let us assume मान लेते हैं this is the retirement date. Correct. I am just saying what is not known. This is not known. This is not known. Are you able to understand? So on this date he will be entitled to 20% of what? Last drawn monthly salary. So what is the salary, monthly salary of this last month? That we don't know. Salary we don't know. Because we know current year salary. But we don't know what is the last monthly drawn salary. Correct. For each completed year of services. So we don't know what is the completed year of services. Because that is based on retirement date. Understood this point? Are you able to understand? Means can I say there are a lot of estimation involved. We have done provision also. But when we have done AS29, so AS29 has scoped out any provision for employee benefit. Means employee benefit is not covered where? In AS29 it is covered under AS15. When I say provision AS29, so there also we have done estimation, but there were not so much uncertainties. It is very long here because suppose today one employee of 20-year age has been appointed. Now retirement year is 60 years. So can we estimate for 40 years? 60 minus 20, 40 years. So can we do estimation for 40 years? So we can do estimation for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year. Okay. But this is based on lot of uncertainties or not. So can you see here there is a lot of uncertainties. Understood what I am saying? Therefore what AS15 says that You can take the help of actuary for estimation. For estimation means actuaries are expert for such type of estimation. Means we chartered accountant are not expert in this. We chartered accountant are not expert in this. Means as in office, means suppose as per practical scenario, one report you receive from whom? Actuary. The amount will be given there. You will take this amount and will pass the entry. Correct now. So from office, yeah, from practical point of view, very easy. You take the report and take the amount from there. But what is this? I need to explain you now. What actuary will do? Now, who is this actuary? Actuaries are an expert who are good in mathematics. Mathematics means statistics. Correct? So they are good in stats. Anyone here who love mathematics? Anyone who like mathematics? No one likes. Anyone who likes mathematics? Because every CA to will not like. But there are some students who might like mathematics because I was very good in mathematics. Correct now. But that time I was not knowing about this course when I have done CA. When I have done CA, after becoming CA, I was not knowing about this course. I was knowing, but I was not aware much about this. And no one has given any guidance to me. Also guidance required now. So that time I was alone. I have done CA without guidance only. Correct? So guidance is required. Otherwise you will not be able to take correct path. Always guidance, but guidance from what? Some eligible person, not from everyone. Correct? So if you are good in mathematics, I just want to guide you after becoming CA, not before becoming CA. First of all, after becoming CA, you can try this course. This is known as actuarial science. One course is there which is complicated than CA because it is involving mathematics. So you need to be good in mathematics. If you are not good in mathematics, you can't do this course because some aggregate percentage required in mathematics in your class 12 and your graduation. It should be more than 90% like this. That is the criteria. Then only you can join this course. So if you made that criteria, you can join this course. In this there are 16 exams. In CA how many exams are there? 4 plus 6 plus 6. 16 only. In this also 16 exams. But there is no foundation, inter, final like this. One paper you can give. Jitna I know, I don't know whether there is any changes now or not. As per my knowledge, whatever. So there are how many paper? 16 paper. I don't know what is the level of paper because I have not given the exam, So don't ask me the level. But this is more complicated than C exam. But if you are good in mathematics, it is easy for you, now. Correct? If you pass only 8 exam, means there is no need to pass the entire exam. If you pass 8 exam, your remuneration will be 3 times more than a CA remuneration. Understood? I have given you the value of this course. Understood? Your remuneration will be 3 times more than what? A CA remuneration. Fresher. Experience to pata nahi kitna. And there are very small number of person who have cleared all exam of this. So they are very rare in world. Understood? Small number of person has cleared exam. 8 paper bhi sab clear nahi karte. Got it? If you are good, I am just giving one advice. Try for this. I was not knowing about this that time. So what happened? I have never tried. But if suppose I would have been known, I would have also tried. Try करने में क्या जाता है? Correct ना? Try करने में तो that is what I just want to say you. Correct? Understood? Correct. But after becoming CA, don't do before becoming CA. Otherwise your CA will be also undone. Got it? So what sometime I give advice, oh, more than CA 3 times, let us do this only. Quite possible, na? So sometimes you are over, you react in some other way. Okay? So already I have said after becoming CA do it. Chalega? Because then your life will be secured. Then you can take risk. जो करना करो. ठीक है? There are many other courses also which I will inform you in CA final. Correct? Yes, sir. This you have understood. So there are a lot of uncertainties involved, and therefore we can take help of actuary who will do estimation based on some uncertainties. Uncertainties means they will take many assumptions, based on that assumption they will give you some amount. Only we need to understand, once that amount is known, how to do accounting treatment. Means how they estimate that is not in our syllabus. Means suppose they said कि amount payable to this employee is 10 lakh on retirement. So this will be estimated by whom? Actually. Now how to do accounting for this in this number of years, that we need to understand. Are you getting what I am saying? Have you understood what I am saying? So this will be given in the question. This will be given, or they will give you some information to calculate this. Once you can calculate this, then how to allocate this amount in this number of years, that we need to understand. I hope you have understood this much. Chalega? Can I take one question directly? Yes, sir, to explain you this point. So come to one example is given here in this example number 1. Given page number 25.10. Example number 1. A Limited announced a defined benefit long-term bonus plan to pay benefit at the end of 5 years. It is payable after how many years? 5 years. Amount of bonus will be 40% of last drawn monthly salary for each completed year of services. Salary of 2018-19 is 40,000 per month. Growth in salary is expected to increase by 8% per annum compounded annually. Discount rate is how much? 10%. Calculate current service cost, interest cost, and present value of defined benefit obligation. Means with this question I am here to explain you what is the meaning of current service cost, what is the meaning of interest cost, what is the meaning of present value of defined benefit obligation. Chalega? Correct. Question I hope you have understood. Correct. Correct. So let us start. So we are doing example number 1. This example number 1 I have taken from AS summary book. So what they have given, how many years are there? 5 years. But at Y1 what is the salary? 40,000 per month, and this will increase by what? 8% on a compounded basis. Correct. Yes, sir. Means first we'll calculate what? Expected last drawn monthly salary this will be equal to 40,000 into what? 1.08 into 1.08 into 1.08 into 1.08. How many times? 1.08 how many times? 4 times, 5 times? 4, 5. 4 na. I am also saying 4. 4 times. 4 times is correct. 4 times is correct. But because this is Y1, this is Y2, this is Y3, this is Y4, this is Y5 na. Understood? Batao. What is the amount? How much? $54,420. चलेगा? Now, point number 2, what will be the projected benefit? Projected benefit means what is the benefit payable on retirement. So that will be how much percentage they have said? 40% of what? So 54,420 for each number of, for what? They have given now 40% of last of month for each year of completed year service, means 5 years into 5 year will do. This become projected benefit. How much? 10840. Means this amount is payable on what? Payable after 5 years. Correct. This much you understood. Normally this amount will be given by whom? Actuary. This much you understood. Now what AS 15 says, this will be allocated means will calculate allocated benefit by using projected unit credit method, PUCM, projected unit credit method. What does it mean? It will be allocated equally to all the years. How many years? 5 years. It means we'll do 1,08,840 divided by 5 is equal to how much? 21768. If you want to write down projected unit credit method, projected unit credit method, this method is given in AS 15. This may be asked in MCQ. Projected unit credit method. So this will be allocated to every year. Means just try to understand. If I say this is Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4 and Y5. Means for this year the amount is payable after how many year? Batao. After 4 years. What is the amount payable? What nala hai? 21768 for this year. For this amount, what is the amount payable? Bata. After how many years? 21768. For this amount is payable after how many years? 2 years. What is the amount payable? 21768. For this amount is payable how much? After how many years? 21768. For this amount is payable how much? How much? When? Immediately only. Payable immediately only. 21768. I hope you have understood. 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 0 year. Understood? Are you able to understand? Correct. Done. Now you will calculate present value na. So for Y1, how much expense to be recognized? Present value of 21768. So you will calculate present value by discounting for how many years? 4 years. Yes or no? Correct. So I'm not writing, I will calculate directly. So here discounting you will do for 4 years. Here discounting for second year expense should be the present value of what? 21768. Discounting for how many years? 3 years. Understood? Yes. Write down. Point number 4. Calculation of current service cost. Current service cost. Now current service cost is the expense related to that year. Understood? That is known as current service cost. This much you understood? Right. So can you give me Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, Y5? What is the allocated benefit? Two one seven six eight, 21768, 21768, 21768, 21768. You need to give me discounting factor at what rate? It is given the question only at 10%. Can you give me? Think and give, huh? Think and give. Understood? So it means you need to give discounting factor. This will be 1. Y0 means what? Means there is no need to calculate present value. The future value is only what present value, now to multiply by 1 only. Are you able to understand what I am saying? This will be 1. Then what? This will be what? 0.909. This is 0.826. This is 0.751. This is 0.683. This you should memorize because normally in exam they give 10%. 1, 0.909, 826, 751, 683. Correct? Because we have done a lot of time, we have memorized. So normally 10% normally they give. We can memorize this. There is no need to calculate bar. But don't memorize, calculate and do only. Huh? Understood this point? Have you understood why we started from reverse? Because there here present value is calculated for how many years? Here what? Here what? Here what? Here what? Understood? Have you understood this? Now can you give me current service cost? CSC. CSC means what? Current service cost. 14,868. Then 16,348. Then 17,980. Then 19,787. Then 21,768. Understood? Any doubt? No doubt. Point number 5. Last point of this question. Calculation of interest cost and present value of DBO. DBO means what? Defined benefit obligation. If you want to write down full. Defined benefit obligation. Defined benefit obligation. Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, Y5. Correct. Write down opening DBO. DBO means what? Defined benefit obligation. Then in this we'll add interest cost at what rate? At 10%, means now we'll do compounding. Then in this we'll add current service cost. So this will become closing balance of what? This will become closing DBO. Are you able to understand? But the first here, what is the opening DBO? Nil, nalayak. Opening liability was nil. DBO means what? Liability. Opening liability was nil first year. Opening liability was nil, na? So interest will be also nil. What is the current service cost? 14,868. What is the closing DBO? 14,868. Understood this calculation? This will become opening DBO of which year? Now what is the interest will be calculated on this amount? It will be 1487. What is the current service cost? 16,348. How much? $32,703. Once again we'll do 32,703. Interest will be 3270 and current service cost 17,980. How much? 53,953. Once again 53,953. Then 5395, and this is 19,787. 79,135. Up to this, any doubt? Correct. Now without calculation, can you say me what will be this amount? Very good. Means you have understood the question though. Solution you have understood. In this amount na 1,08,040 means you are understanding. It means 1,08,840. What is the opening? 79,135. What is the current service cost? 21,768. Therefore interest will be taken as what? Balancing figure. Always interest, last year I have said in previous chapter also. Last year interest will be balancing figure. Can you give me balancing figure? 79, and that will be approximately equal to this only. Some rounding of difference is coming. But any complication? Any complication? Have you understood this? Means what is journal entry? Journal entry will be current service cost transfer to PL, account debit. Interest cost transfer to PL, account debit. To what? To present value of DBO. Are you able to understand this journal entry? So first year current service cost how much? Interest is what? Nil. So this will be 14,868. Second year it is what? 16,348. This is 1,487. So what is the increase in present value of DBO? 16,348 plus 1,487. 17,835. Then this year how much? 17,980. 3,270. How much? 21,250. Then this year it is 19,787. 5395. How much? 25,182. Last year it is 21,768. And 7937 is equal to 29,705. Got this fine? Super easy or not? Simple. Simple. Now, just try to understand. When I am saying this, now, if you have understood this much, the last point of this particular topic, then in this topic there is one more topic. So one part will be over. So I would like to do today this much only. I don't want to go beyond this because सब ऊपर नीचे हो जाएगा. I know how much you can understand, how much you can't understand. If I'll go beyond this now, today this much only. चलेगा? So if you have understood this much, one more point I'd like to add. Only try to listen whatever I'm saying. Now, I mean right now we are in year 1. Right now we are in year 1. So year 1, can I say actually will take some assumption, and based on that assumption, actually has given this amount projected benefit. This amount has been given based on that assumption. Correct? Yes, second year this assumption may change or not. Assumption may change because of different circumstances. Assumption may change. Means can I say this might change. The growth in salary rate might change. Discount rate might change. There may be some changes or not. So whenever there is changes in assumption in the second year or onward, so can I say this will be changed or not? Means whatever we have done for year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, that will change. Means right now we have calculated this current service cost and this interest cost and present value DBO for year 1. We are into year 1 based on assumption or not. Means this is our current year, this is our future year na. This is our future year, but in exam if they will ask, we'll draw everything. But actually we are in current year, but future year we have calculated based on current year assumption. But in future assumption might change. So if assumption change, so there will be some difference in this opening balance. Opening balance will change or not? Means can I say whatever opening balance we have calculated for year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, that is based on old assumption or not? But if you apply new assumption, that opening balance might change. So if you apply new assumption, there will be some changes in the opening balance. Either opening balance will increase or opening balance will decrease. Means either liability will increase or liability will decrease. But the liability increase means gain or loss? Loss. And liability decrease means what? Gain. So what AS 15 says, because there is no question on this nature, so I don't want to trouble you. Correct? I don't want to trouble you much. Correct? So what AS 15 says that if due to changes in actuarial assumption, we call it what? Actuarial assumption. correct? If the present value of DBO changes, so any difference, yeah, any changes will be regarded as actuarial gain or loss. Actuarial gain or loss, and that actuarial gain or loss will be also transferred to PL immediately. That actuarial gain or loss will be transferred to PL immediately. Understood? Means in exam they will give you actuarial gain or loss only to pass the entry. They will not ask you to calculate. They will not ask you to calculate that. So don't worry about that. Are you able to understand what I am saying? So what is the accounting treatment? Now let us understand. If you have understood this much, we can read whatever is given in this AS15. Let us start reading. Defined benefit plan. Under defined benefit plan, entity's obligation is to provide defined benefit to current and future employee. Because can I say whatever plan we have announced, that is also applicable to future employee. Whoever is joining, that plan is automatically applicable to that employee from the year of joining. So it is applicable to current and future employee. This is also important for MCQs. Defined benefit plan is a plan where benefit is defined. Means what is the benefit? That plan is defined, benefit is defined, but amount of obligation is not defined. What amount is payable, that is not defined. But in DCP, defined contribution plan, what is the amount to contribute, that was defined, that was known. But in this, what amount we need to pay, that is not known. That is not known. It means we need to estimate. To determine current service cost and present value of DPO, which method will be applicable? Projected unit credit method is applied. To calculate present value, discount rate should be determined by reference. What will be the discount rate that is given? Discount rate should be determined by reference to market yield of government bond as on reporting date. So we'll take market yield of government bond as on reporting date. This is important for MCQ. This for practical question, discount rate will be given. But what is the discount rate? The discount rate will be calculated by reference to market yield of government bond. Understood this point? Yes, sir. In this plan, employee contribution is not required. In this plan, there is no employee contribution. Correct? However, such plan can be funded or unfunded. This point I will explain, and this point I will explain next class. Leave it. What is funded, what is unfunded, I will explain. Till now we have not done this discussion. Correct? Now, this point we have done. Actuary, now you have understood who is actuary? Will estimate the amount of obligation under various uncertainties on the basis of what? Actuarial assumption. Actuarial assumption. Now they are, what AS15 says, there are two types of actuarial assumption. This might be important for MCQ. This might be important for MCQs. So there are two types of actuarial assumption. One is known as demographic assumption. One is known as financial assumption. One is known as financial assumption. Demographic assumption means what? Labor turnover rate means whether what is the expectation that employee will leave or employee will not leave. That is known as labor turnover rate. Mortality rate, their mortality rate, retirement rate, mediclaim rate. These are what? Demographic assumption based on what? Expectation of employee, etc. Correct? This is known as demographic assumption. Correct? Demographic assumption. Financial assumption means discount rate, escalation rate in salary, expected rate of return. Expected rate of return is coming soon in your life. Correct? This is next topic. So these are known as demographic assumption and financial assumption. You need to understand demographic and financial assumption. So there are two type of assumptions. Chalega? Yes, sir. Now accounting treatment of DBO. DBM is what? Defined benefit obligation. Correct. Current service cost. You have understood current service cost is the increase in present value of DBO resulting from employee's service during the current period. So whatever increase in present value of DBO due to current service of employee, that is known as what? Current service cost. What journal entry you will do? current service cost account debit to present value of DBO, and this will be charged to what? PL. Under which head? Under EB expense. Under EB expense. This you have understood? Correct. Now, what is actuarial gain or loss? So, actual gain or loss are the changes in the present value of DBO resulting from experience adjustment. What is the meaning of experience adjustment? Whatever you have estimated, that is different from actual. Actual and expectation are different. So that is known as experience adjustment, or the effect of what? Changes in actuarial assumption. That only I have said. Due to changes in actuarial assumption, what is the increase or decrease in present value of DBO? That is known as what? Actuarial gain or loss. Correct. So actuarial gain or loss will be recognized where? Immediately in the statement of PL as an income or expense. Gain means income, loss means expense. What journal entry if actuarial loss? So actuarial loss to present value of DBO. What is the journal entry for actuarial gain? Present value of DBO to actuarial gain. Very simple. Correct. Understood this point? Correct. Then interest cost will be calculated by applying discount rate on opening balance of DBO. So opening balance of DBO will calculate what? Interest cost. We have calculated on opening balance only. We have calculated on opening balance only. So what is journal entry for interest cost? Interest cost to present value of DBO. This much we have done. This much we have done today. Today this much only. Only one question I will take from material. After this, Abhi right now I think full confusion if I will take. Means I can explain, but I want that first you revise this much. Any doubt is coming, you can ask me. Correct now. So 10 minutes, 20 minutes, just give time to AS15. If you feel yes, you have understood everything, then we'll go to this. But after this, it is very simple and also important from exam point of view. Correct. So I don't want to say much Abhi right now. Chalo, so one question only I'd like to take from material. Very few questions are given in this chapter. Why few questions? Once again, because first time they have introduced this chapter where? In Jain. Now, I also don't know what is the expectation of ICAI from this chapter from you. So, I am just doing as per ICAI study material. I don't want to take more question on this. Okay, na? This question number 8. An employee, Roshan, has joined a company XYZ Limited in the year 2001. Okay, sir. The annual emolument of Roshan is decided is rupees 14,90,210. Okay, sir. The company also has a policy of giving a lump sum payment of 25% of last drawn annual salary, but annual salary of the employee for each completed year of service. If the employee retires after completing minimum 5 years of services, the salary of the Roshan is expected to grow at 10% per annum. The company has inducted Roshan in the beginning of the year. Okay, sir, beginning only. It is expected that he will complete minimum 5-year term before retiring. So before retirement, he will be able to complete 5-year term. Thus, he will get 5 yearly. Thus, he will get 5 yearly increment. Correct? Understood? What is the amount the company should charge to PL account every year as the cost for DBO means this is current service cost. Also calculate current service cost and interest cost to be charged per year assuming discount rate is 8%. Now they have given discount rate. Can you use some different rate? Even though this is wrong, use this only. But this will be correct only. But what I am saying, even though suppose this is wrong, use this only. Don't correct it. Just check it whether correct or wrong. It will be correct. But suppose wrong, then also use this only. Chalega? Only one thing. Thoda sa in this. Question number 8. Now they have given what? 5 years. Means amount is payable at the end of 5 years. So this is Y0, Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4 and Y5. Understood? Correct. In this question what they have done? They have said what is the salary of this? 14 lakh 90 92 90,000 90,210. And normally can I say, if I am saying, so it will grow 10% for second year now. But in this case what they have done? They have done 10% यहाँ पर, 10% यहाँ पर, 10% यहाँ पर, 10% यहाँ पर, 10% यहाँ पर. Yes, this is not correct. This is not correct. This is the only question they have given in AS 15 till now. And one question has been given as illustration. Correct? In CA final when we used to do. So in that illustration so they have done in this way. But in this solution they have done in this way. So I don't want to change the solution because till now they have not corrected the solution. We'll go as per this only, will not make any debate on this. Correct? Understood now? Because how to understand? Because this will be 4 year only now. Is understood? Because it is payable afterward. The annual involvement of Rosen is this. The company has a policy of giving what is for each completed and what is given. Achha. Only from this point we can say, thus he will get 5 yearly increment. From this point we can say why they have done 10% to the power 5. They are saying they will get 5 yearly increment. Means gross to be done what? How many times? 5 times. So because of only this point, I will say this answer can be taken into consideration. Chalega? So if this point is not given, then so I will say it should be this and this only. Correct? So for this question, whenever this point is given, always do in this way. Chalega? Correct? So what is the annual? Now batao. You can do. First we'll calculate what? Last drawn annual salary. It will be 14,90,210 into 1.10 to the power 5. Can you give me? $23 lakh means 24 lakh. Means 24 lakh we can say na. What is the projected benefit? How much percentage? Of 24 lakh multiplied by 5 na. For each completed year of services, coming 30 lakh. 30 lakh. Point number 3, allocated benefit. $30 lakh divided by 5 is equal to 6 lakh. Then point number 4, calculation of current service cost. They have given year also. It is for the year 2001, 2002 we can add on. 2001 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. Can you give me allocated benefit? 6 lakh every year. Can you give me discounting factor? 1, 926, 857, 794, 73. Can you give me current service cost? How much? 4 lakh 41,000. 4 lakh 76,400. 5 lakh 14,200. Then 5 lakh 55,600 and 6 lakh. Then point number 5, calculation of interest cost and present value of DBO. Two 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. The opening balance of DBO nil. Plus what? Interest cost nil. Plus what? Current service cost 4 lakh 41. What is the closing balance? 4 lakh 41,000. Interest cost next. At what rate? 8%. Can you give me 8%? 35,280. Then plus 4 lakh 76,000. Total 9 lakh 52 680. 9 lakh 52 680. Then 76,214. Then 5 lakh 14,200. Fifteen lakh 43 094. 15 lakh 43 094. 1 lakh 23 448. 5 lakh 55,600. Total 22 lakh. 142. Interest will be now balancing figure. This will be 6 lakh. What is the projected benefit? Can you give me interest? 1 lakh 858. Done. This question will come. This will be of 8 marks. Understood? But topic is not yet over. Abhi defined benefit plan, there is something more. But right now if I will discuss now, you will be totally confused. This much you have understood? Just go your home, just check the answer first. Same answer is coming. They have given some different presentation, you can use this presentation also. I have done what? Vertical, they have done horizontal. They have done vertical, I have done horizontal format. चलेगा? ठीक है. So just revise and come whatever I have done. After that there is one more point in this topic only that I don't want to mix right now. Okay, so thank you very much for today. We'll meet in the next class. Till then, bye bye, take care, enjoy your remaining day. Bye bye.